Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing well. This is just a video that I've been meaning to put together, but I had a lot to put through in this video, so I wanted to get it kind of right and give the right information out. I want to start by saying, look, I'm not no kind of financial advisor or can give any kind of financial advice. Um, if you guys need anything like that, consult a specialist, financial specialist. If you need to know anyone in particular that you want to get direction from, I can be helpful to that and direct you in the right way. But what I am gonna explain in this video is just basically my own opinion. It's nothing, that is set in stone or not. I'm not a financial advisor. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So let's just get that out of the way there. Um, when is a good time to buy? Um, I'll be answering this question in segments, but I just want to roll back and just give you guys a snippet of what's actually going on, and it'll make sense later on in the video. So just bear with me. I've gone and done some research on the main, five banks that I wanted to just the main lenders of those banks, which is your Barclays, your HSBC, your Lloyds, your Santander, and I put Nationwide in there as well, but they're a building society. But I've just put them in there as well. Um, each one is reacting differently to the coronavirus epidemic and giving their own packages and taking packages. And those packages I'll go into and just list above me of what Barclays are doing, and they're just basically saying um, loan to value, which is LTV in smaller words. They're going to give you basically 60% um, of a loan, and 40% is a deposit that the buyer needs to come up with, which is a huge amount. It was originally 20-25% in some cases, but now it's gone up to 40, which is double. And there's no help to buy product available for first time buyers as well on this one. So Barclays have gone in with that. HSBC on their website, they have written, we cannot accept applications for 95% or buy to let mortgages at this moment because of the coronavirus outbreak. I'll put some more information above me on HSBC on that end, as well as your Lloyds and your Santander. I will just put again what sort of rates they're doing as well on the screen, so you guys can take a deeper look. Again, this is just something I've just gone off from the website and information I've got from my own financial advisors. So please go out there, speak to your own consultant, and ensure with the lenders that you're dealing with that the price and advice you are getting is correct and up to date. Do your research with them is very important, is what I'm saying. They are going to be a bit more stricter in regarding getting you guys to potentially sign a declaration, which also says, can you still afford? Is any affordability change going to happen in the next 12 months when they do your application? And generally speaking, before that be a no, but because of the coronavirus epidemic, you're probably going to write yes because you don't know if you're going to get furloughed in the future, or or there's going to be no job for you. So if you do go down that declaration route and they ask you to sign it, be mindful of that because you may be rejected on that basis as well. Um, and I looked into another thing as well where people were asking me, would payment holidays affect your credit rating? And as far as I'm aware, as long as you keep making those payments, they won't affect your payment holidays that you are entitled to or you apply for, as long as you're continuing on to pay those payments and keep up to date with them. Um, so I would say, going back onto people who can buy, I would say do buy, because if you are able to get a 40% deposit together, and you are accepted, um, and you can get a desktop mortgage in place where the banks seem fit that they're happy to do so. That's another challenge, because if you have to get a surveyor to come out, then you're stuck, because I don't think no banks are doing any physical surveys in most cases. So if you get a desktop survey, that's great. You can get a term for whatever, 3 years or 5 years. You can get a good deal, and you get a low base rate to begin with. And when you come to move on, you've got 40% equity in that property. So when you come to remortgage, you can obviously pull out a lot more. So that's a plus there that I would say. Going into 5 pointers of what I would kind of look out for on what's going to happen in the coming 6 to 9 to even 12 months that I anticipate for buyers like yourself who are looking and don't know, what signs to look at or when to move and make a move. I'll predict at the end of the video what kind of timing I would go in for off the top of my own knowledge and own opinion again. Um, I certainly think the lockdown's going to last a lot longer than they're saying. It's probably going to go up to uh, July/August. Again, in my opinion, they may gradually bring things in, but I just think it'll probably be around that time. The point number one out of these five that I was going to say was my 5 pointers is point number one, stamp duty holiday. So I expect and I hope as well at the same time this will regenerate some of the market at some point and help the market definitely. There's a number of things that need to be done, not just one, but this is one of the things that I wanted to put as number one. They're looking to basically do a stamp duty holiday, which basically means, from the gist of what I've kind of understood from the little information there is, that if you have to pay for a property and the stamp duty is X amount, let's just give or take is 30 grand. That 30 grand, you don't have to pay it in one hit. You can even have to pay it back in 6 months or 12 months as some sort of goodwill that gives you more time to pay that off. Or I think they're even looking at just completely abolishing it for a period of time so people can come on the property ladder, buy their property, and don't have to pay anything to the treasury. I don't know if that's going to last too long, and I don't know how that's going to work out. That's why they're being very tight-lipped about it. This was originally introduced in 2008 for the recession, but it wasn't implemented at that time. But now they're definitely looking at this. I was looking at, I would still think a reduction of stamp duty is necessary, but I don't see that happening. The budget didn't say that of this year. However, I'm not even ruling out there could be even another budget coming up post coronavirus, because I think that would be something relevant to everyone in every way. So yeah, point number one, stamp duty holiday. Look out for that, because that's going to really help you guys when you're looking at getting a good price for the property. You may not even need to pay the stamp duty for this, which is something to consider. If you do, it may be a prolonged way where it's deferred for some months and you pay it gradually rather than in one hit, which can help towards your works in the property which you're going to do. The second thing is, guys, go to an accountant for this, because again, I'm not an accountant or a number kind of guy. So your end of year tax return is going to come up in April of 2021. You've had a slow increment of this year because of your work and salaries, etc. So when you go to show your end of year tax return, if you get a property, you can work around that and work something out along with a good base rate of interest to pay. So all in all, you might be able to come out of this a bit more healthier on that end if you have a good accountant guiding you. So get in touch with your accountants for that. Again, I'm not an accountant, I'm just giving my own opinion on this, so yeah, look into that. Your extension, point number three, which I was going to say, was your extension for Help to Buy. So Help to Buy is actually going to expire for first time buyers on April 2021. I think that's going to definitely get extended, which will be great for people who are looking to buy new build properties. So if you are one of those, you can hope for that extension to come into place. That's another good sign for you guys to keep an eye out for, which will be good. Point number four, which is something more technical, but there's a 6 months eviction order of legislation saying you cannot evict anybody in the coming months because of COVID-19. But once we're post COVID-19, this will be lifted, and buyers who are looking at investments or properties that are currently tenanted but people want to move into, they are able then to the vendors to evict these tenants or move them out and give the property to the new buyer, which is a great incentive for you guys to look at those properties again that you cannot look at this moment in time because of the circumstances which are arisen. And number five, which is something which I predict again, which I think will happen, will be greater flexibility on planning. So the planning portals in the councils, I think, will be more relaxed. So when you do buy a property, things will be more easier to do, and therefore applications will be more lenient towards the buyer or the person making the application, which will inevitably help you guys, make those moves you want to do a lot quicker and a lot smoother. Especially for people who are investing and doing doing other kind of builds or HMOs, or converting houses into flats, or just straightforward applications, or going for more length on extensions, that sort of thing, or even lofts. So that's something I do definitely think to look out for those. So those five are my top five things that I have pointed out, and I think will potentially come into effect going forward. Coming back onto the question of when is a good time to buy, I would say quarter four of this year, 2020, sorry, you're looking around about December time. It's going to be a peak period, even though they say, normally no one does nothing around Christmas. I think a lot of solicitors will want to make up their time for the conveyancing they've lost. Land registry fees may go down as well. So this is a good time. I think the market will then start to really kind of open up and see where it's going. And I definitely think quarter one of 2021 is a good time as well to look into. So we're looking at, I would say, anything from October to December, and then again into January, because again it ties in nicely before your tax return of April. So buyers who want to get in there before then, they would. So you would see a good spike in sales as well, and completions, which is important. So vendors will be aware of that, and they'll be looking to negotiate as well as people who just need to move forward their own deadlines. This is where towards the back end of the year things will start opening up for buyers who are looking to buy. So I would say in that meantime it's very important to get yourself on the property ladder, but the way to do that is have your ducks in line now. So get your financial affordability as high as you can. They will be looking more, the banks will, after this COVID-19, look at your personal expenditure a lot more closely than ever before, I believe, as well. So I don't think this is a time where you guys are, obviously, if you are still working and you are making some sort of money, try not to spend it on anything what you don't need to, because they'll be looking at this in the future. Try and use this opportunity to save as much money as you can to help you going forward. And I think towards the end of the year will be a very busy one for the property market. And in regards to how do you know if you're going to get, how do you know if you're going to get a good deal, and what to gauge that from? So that's another question that someone put to me, and I want to kind of give you a good idea of how to kind of gauge that. The market is moving up and down quite a lot, not up, but actually down quite a lot, and you don't know when to go in, and at this moment you really can't, but going forward you don't know when to go in to get a good deal. I would say a good gauge is about 7 to 10% of the property market, of that value of that property. What you need to take into consideration is one factor, which I would always go off, is what the price is of before the COVID-19 epidemic happened, and what price are you paying for it post Corona. And if it's less than 5%, then I would say don't buy it. If it's 6, 7, 8%, 10%, even double figures, then I'd say that's a good enough discount for you guys. Go in and buy the property. Don't waste too much time unless you think there's more inventory out there for you to have a look at. But I would say anything from about 7 or 8% onwards is good enough to be confident that you're getting a good deal. So that would be the last tip or question that I would like to I've answered on that side of things. I will be bringing more content forward on the property side of things, so please do subscribe to our Moving Estates channel that we've set up quite recently. I'm new to all of this, so it's great that I'm having a bit of a platform in this time, which is quite quiet for us to go out there and give my opinion and educate some buyers out there on what they're looking for as the next investment, or first time buyers even. So it's been great getting this out, and I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.